That red thing.
All right, so here we are. This is little footage here. We're about ready to try out the drone deploy. We got a little. What was this thing, Brian? A Cessna 150? What was this thing, Brian? Do you remember what they told us this thing was?
A 150A.
A 150A that somebody let us use to kind of practice with. So we've been sitting out here for a few years. Brian and I did some work back in the day. I should say Brian did the work and I was amazed by his work. Now we've got this drone deploy we're playing with. Oh, that's a tail piece there?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect the way it is.
You got Briar's here, buddy? Yeah, it's kind of... Hey, there's Alex.
Hey.
Remember you from a few years back, right? So we're going to try to get a piece of this airplane out of here to actually practice with the drone deploy. Okay, so there's the part of the tail feathers. That'll be good. I like it that it's red too. That'll help as far as like when we're doing the work setting out in the woods. So what's the plan here? You're gonna launch the drone deploy from the front yard, right?
Come back here. I'm gonna
see if we can pick this up.
Work with how much overlap we can get in the height and see how much resolution we can get out of it.
Okay. All right, good. Oh. All right, so Brian, last time we were here, we were working on the drone. I mean, it's been quite a few years back, trying to figure out how to go down there and image that area. And right over there is the garage door we were using to bounce. We had what kind of antenna was it? You was bouncing a signal off of it.
We had just a little no, we had a little Yagi antenna.
That's right.
450 megahertz.
Yep, and we were just trying to figure out if there's some way we could see down through the jungle maybe. And so then we went down to Venezuela on that last trip, and they told us we can't bring that stuff down there. But now it looks like there's a possibility to do some imagery work with these little quadcopters with the cameras and things on them. And there's some people down there that have a license to fly them and stuff. So, I mean, it's been a long journey. We haven't found Bob yet, but you've been involved from the very, very beginning of all this.
Yeah, Bob was a friend of mine.
Yes, a good friend.
The old tower there, that tower was taken from another place about 70 miles from him. Bob took it down for me.
Yep, I remember that. That's right. Yep.
He didn't use a belt.
So we wouldn't call him Safety Bob.
No, he's not Safety Bob.
No, but he was an amazing Bob.
Give you a heart attack, Bob.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for. I mean, this plane's been stored here for a while, but this is great. It's good that we have it now to be able to practice with, and we'll see what happens. Caden's back there trying to.
What's cool?
Get on the fuselage.
If Bob were still around, he would make it fly.
Yeah, no kidding. He'd be saying, "Well, why is that there? We ought to put those wings back on that thing."
It's a good airplane. It's in great shape.
Make it a glider.
Yeah.
So we've got some new gear here. What is this thing here? This command center.
So it's a command case by Titan Drones. They have modded it for us to. Not only is it an omnidirectional or directional antenna, but they've modded it for us to take to mount omnidirectional whip antennas.
Nice.
So.
And then you can put then the controller can go in here.
Yeah. So we'll be able to take our iPad and mount it, and then.
Bob and I are from the generation where you wouldn't get a magnet around them.
I know. That's what I said. I've said that before. Like, isn't it gonna like fry the hard drive?
Erase the magnetic memory.
Yep.
So
this looks like some kind of a James Bond thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Do you know the secret codes?
I do.
Good. Is it a retinal scan and the fingerprint?
This is the football.
Right. This is the football.
It should go on like so.
Okay.
Oh. Wrong side. Should be able to.
So interesting too, Brian, because I mean, we were literally trying to create this stuff.
Yeah.
Right back when, I mean, a lot of this stuff was not around at all, and then we kind of got
snap on.
Nice.
And then I already have a modded controller, so I'll put Titan Drone sells these connections, which is very beneficial. Yes.
Got it.
And then
nice.
To that.
And then which model is this one that we're using right now?
This is the DJI Mavic Pro. Flight time probably like 20 to 25 minutes, depending on what we're doing,
right.
How intense it is.
And it has some protection against, oh, there's the camera on the...
There's the camera. It's 4K resolution. Here's the obstacle avoidance. I think they're like near infrared. I'm not so certain about the sensors. And then there's sensors on the back.
Got it. For landing.
Yep.
I need to paint an H on there, don't I?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let me just see if we can set up the flight.
Okay, so putting in a grid just right above the... We had the airplane out here in the back of Brian's yard, and we pulled the tail feathers over. You know, we showed that a minute ago. So, all right, so good. That's what we're gonna... So there we are. There's where the drone's setting, and then there's the area we want it to go map.
All right. All right. So now we should just be able to do that. We've set our how much overlap we want. The height that's only going to be about 50 feet off the ground.
Nice.
So everything's fine. So go.
There it goes.
And it takes off by itself.
There it goes. It's getting ready to go over and fly its grid. There.
Yeah, this is a controller waypoint height.
Oh, look, there's pictures. It's showing pictures. We're picking up pictures of the airplane there. Looks like there's a little wind moving it around. Now it's going to go down. Come back across. There's the images that it's taking.
Oh, that's the. Let me turn the antenna on.
There's the red tail feathers. Interesting because that white fuselage shows up way better. That red tail feathers is hard to see. It's interesting to see what the pictures look like when they come back from being rendered. What do you think, Brian?
I like that.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so it's finished imaging. Now it's coming in to see if it'll land itself on this. See how close it comes to the actual. So it was off just a couple of feet there, but it's completely autonomously landing. Will it set all the way down now, or?
Well, maybe it's asking me if I want to. Hold on.
So Brian, some of the stuff that we're doing here with this is now available. Remember when we went to Goddard, it was you and me and Alex, and who else went? Somebody else go with us?
What was his name? Is it the helicopter pilot?
Oh, it was John.
Did JD go? Yeah, JD went with us.
Yeah,
That's right,
yeah.
that's right. And yeah, and we went up there to talk to them about their search technologies that they were creating. Wasn't it like synthetic aperture radar stuff that they'd been working with?
They weren't too happy with the results that, as I remember.
Yeah.
They got defunded, I think, is what really
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
before they could really get deep into it.
Yep. And that was what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, December
Yeah.
of 2010.
Yeah. You remember that, Alex?
I remember that whole trip.
Yeah, I think they offered you an internship for the summer or something. They were so impressed with all the work you were doing to help out with this.
Yeah, it was tempting.
Yeah, no kidding. So now you're in engineering school.
Yeah.
Yep, software engineering.
Yep.
Cool. So what do you think about the kind of the possible path forward here to continue the search for Bob Norton and Neva and all them?
Well, I was thinking about, back when we were doing that fixed wing stuff, I didn't think about using quadcopters for this sort of thing because I didn't imagine it would cover enough ground.
Right.
But, I mean, it actually looks pretty promising, especially nowadays. There's been tons of development in this field because people want these things for recreation and
Yep.
for video capture.
And for work-related stuff, right? Like they image over work sites and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know how much we looked at it back then, but they didn't have the capacity these things have now.
Yeah.
These things have come a long ways, right?
Yep.
And so I think this one that we're working with now has like a 20-minute, per battery or whatever. So, but I think some of the other ones coming out or that are either out or about to come out have even longer battery life. Yeah.
I know these things have some kind of payload capacity. Maybe you could just attach bigger batteries to it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Well, so we know if we leave it up to Brian and Alex, they'll figure out a way to strap something. Right. Well, maybe we could just put
Put some supercapacitors on it.
That's right. So yeah, so cool. So it is pretty exciting that there may be a path forward now to go back down there and
Yep.
keep searching, see if we can find that crash site.
What crash site?
From Bob Norton down in Venezuela.
Oh.
Yep, you weren't even born when that happened. And as a matter of fact, Kelson was, what was he, 2 years old? Yeah, back when that happened. Because he used to think that Venezuela was my friend. It's like, when are you gonna go see Venezuela again? Yep. No, Bob Norton was my friend. Yep. All right, so Billy, what are you thinking?
I think it's awesome. It's definitely promising. If we can get it, right above the tree line, the canopy in the woods, in the jungle, hopefully with some 4K resolution and enough overlap, hopefully we'll be able to spot something.
Might be able to see something down through all those. There's a lot of openings in the top of the jungle too.
Right.
We saw that when we were down there before.
So the software does synthetic, point cloud mapping. So hopefully I'm optimistic that that's what'll give us a promising look. So
Good. And then we got Caden in the background there with a grappling hook. It looks like getting ready to scale the tree.